very honored for this opportunity to present Black and Women Entrepreneurship Post-Pandemic Outcomes. The paper's co-authors are Dean Nicholas Hill. He's the Dean of the School of Business at Claflin University in South Carolina in the United States. And then also the legendary Dean, Dr. JoAnn D. Rolle, and she's the Dean of Medgar College in New York School of Business. And then also me, I work for Dean Rolle there. So all entrepreneurs are categorized into one of two categories. They are all either opportunity entrepreneurs or they are necessity-based entrepreneurs. So the difference is opportunity entrepreneurs, while going about their normal lives, their normal routines, they stumble across some new discovery of an opportunity to create a new business. And only after that discovery do they decide to become an entrepreneur. In contrast, necessity entrepreneurs find themselves in some sort of situation and they make the decision first to become an entrepreneur, then they search for opportunities, and then they find a new business opportunity. So the distinction is, when is the decision to become an entrepreneur made? Before opportunity discovery before opportunity discovery or after? So that's the thing that distinguishes. Now, why is this important? The important thing is that the literature shows that businesses created by opportunity entrepreneurs are more lucrative, they're more innovative, more tech and STEM based, as well as based in life sciences. They're run by teams of people, and the entrepreneurs themselves are higher educated and of higher net worth. In contrast, businesses created by necessity entrepreneurs are typically micro businesses. They have very small scalability. They're generally run by one person, usually family members or other members in the household, and they're run informally instead of being formally established in the formal economy. So during the pandemic year of 2020, more people became entrepreneurs as opposed to the previous year. But the problem is, the people who became entrepreneurs, more of them became necessity-based entrepreneurs. The portion that became opportunity entrepreneurs plummeted to its lowest point in over a 25-year period. So in 2020, 90% of new entrepreneurs were opportunity entrepreneurs. In 2019, I meant to say. But in 2020, the portion of opportunity entrepreneurs dropped down to just under 70%. So that's a drastic decline. And then those declines, they were observed across all races and in both genders. And members in the Black population experienced the second to the largest decline, trailing only Asian. So as entrepreneurship educators and scholars, we ask what else is going on in addition to race and ethnicity that's driving some of the differences between whether or not an entrepreneur becomes an opportunity or necessity-based entrepreneur. What about gender, education, income, family structure, and so forth? And so when we looked at the literature, just to summarize all of this into a couple of statements, whites are more often pulled into entrepreneurship because they recognize an entrepreneurial opportunity. Blacks are more often pushed into entrepreneurship because they either need income or they perceive labor market inequalities, or they figure that entrepreneurship is the best way for them to experience their best career or economic life. So based on that, we derive our first hypothesis that a new Black entrepreneur is less likely to be an opportunity entrepreneur compared to a white entrepreneur. We also went on and developed a total of 16 different hypotheses, which you see characterized into 6 categories. And so the second one was, we believe that education among the general population, as well as within the Black population, higher education would lead more often to becoming opportunity entrepreneur versus necessity. And the reason why, with education becomes more experience, industry experience, and the ability to recognize entrepreneurial opportunities. Similarly, the same with age. And so we projected an age within the general population and in the Black population that we see. And then the literature shows that as Blacks get more education, especially beyond the graduate level, that they more often go into entrepreneurship compared to whites. So we believe that older Blacks would be more likely to be opportunity entrepreneurs compared to older whites. We also thought that with income, people less likely to have the need to become an entrepreneur. And so we hypothesized that. And then with females participating more in higher education, especially within the Black community, we hypothesized that females would be more likely to be opportunity entrepreneurs in the general population as well as the Black population. And then marriage. The institution of marriage affords opportunities that perhaps we hypothesize lend themselves to people less likely to become necessity entrepreneurs. And we expected to see that in the general population as well as in the Black population. And because of family social differences between Black and white populations, we expected to see fewer married Blacks becoming opportunity entrepreneurs compared to whites. So to test our hypotheses, we drew on Kaufman early stage entrepreneurship data, which has 16 million different data points. We extracted out a sample size of a little bit more than 42,000 entrepreneurs over the periods of 1996 through 2020. And then we performed comparative means analysis and logistic regression analysis to report the odds ratio. In terms of our descriptive statistics, education was an interview data with the average of our population having some college education, but not a college degree. Income was an interview data at $30,000 to $45,000. Almost 60% of the population was married. Population of entrepreneurs were married. The average age was 42. Females represented just under 52% of the entrepreneurs. And then the distribution between white and Black entrepreneurs, we believe, reflects the general population. So when we performed our analysis, we found strong support for 11 of our hypotheses and not 4. And the support that we found was some of them even beyond the 0.01 level of significance. So the hypothesis that were supported was white entrepreneurs are more likely to be opportunity than Blacks. Also, education, higher educated folks in the general population more likely to be opportunity entrepreneurs rather than less educated. However, our hypothesis in the Black, the data shows that education is not performing the same type of benefit toward opportunity entrepreneurship within the Black community as it is within whites and other communities. Age does have an impact in the general population and within the Black, but there was no difference between older Blacks compared to older whites. Income did provide a positive impact relationship on a person becoming opportunity entrepreneur in the general population and in the white population. We did not find support that higher income Blacks, given the relationship with higher education at the master's level, would show up in this test. Females more likely to become opportunity entrepreneurs. Black females, the literature shows that they start entrepreneurial businesses at 6 times the national average. And so the data shows that they are more likely than Black males. We have not finished testing this particular hypothesis and we can't report on that, but we're still in the process of running different tests on that. Marriage, all of the hypotheses performed as expected. Okay, so the key takeaways from our research: number 1, Black opportunity entrepreneurship is in fact in decline in the United States. And as that happens, we can expect to see fewer and fewer Black businesses that will produce some of the novel innovations, creativity and innovations, as we heard from our previous presentation. Also, fewer Black businesses will be producing job creation, wealth creation, and innovation creation, and then fewer Black businesses will be contributing to the pots of government revenues collected from licenses, fees, permits, and taxes. And then also some of the benefits that entrepreneurship provides. As this Black opportunity entrepreneurship trend continues, we'll see less of that benefits going to Black entrepreneurs and fewer, because we'll have more necessity entrepreneurs. And then the second big takeaway is that education, Black education, is not driving opportunity entrepreneurship. And so it's important to find out why not. And then the third key takeaway is that Black women opportunity entrepreneurship is extremely high and creates a tremendous opportunity. then the opportunity for educational policy recommendations. We believe that institutions that educate a large portion of Black people, and especially women, should focus efforts on creating women's studies entrepreneurship programs and incubators with a focus on increasing the numbers of Black opportunity entrepreneurs that are in existence relative to necessity entrepreneurs. From prior research, a lot of our the presentation right before me indicated that opportunity recognition, the process of being able to understand creativity and innovation, it can be taught, and we believe that that needs to be added. Also, teaching entrepreneurial finance mechanisms to prospective Black entrepreneurs, what a VC is, how it works, what an angel investor is, and so forth, lending. The fifth one right over here is teaching to set up transdisciplinary social networks of multiple disciplines coming together to help. And then finally, teaching the importance of setting businesses up in the formal economy versus the informal economy. I'm going to breeze through the limitation. And my last slide right here is future research recommendation. We believe that scholars, researchers could and should look at what portion of necessity entrepreneurs are only temporarily self-employed, meaning they only became an entrepreneur because of the pandemic. As soon as I get my job back, I'm running away from this entrepreneurship, versus those that are saying, no, I'm working on this business the next 2 or 3 years, this is going to be my thing. And so we believe that looking at the distinction between the two. The other one is what portion of necessity entrepreneurs become serial entrepreneurs at some future time, and then they become opportunity entrepreneurs. And the last and closing, examine why is education not bearing the same type of entrepreneurship benefits in the Black community as it is in others. So thank you all. This concludes my presentation. And these are some of the opportunity and necessity entrepreneurs that we have at Medgar College, including a 5-year-old that stood up in the audience that did an improv pitch. And so thank y'all very much. Really appreciate it. And maybe we can have comments and that's it.